Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you, and if you haven't, I hope you do. I just completed my 38th year coaching. I was a defensive coordinator, but over the years I've been an offensive coordinator, a special teams coordinator. I've been a head coach, all of which I've done at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today in this presentation, I want to talk to you about how we, in our base 3-4, okay, which is important, but in our base 3-4, which we're in most of the time because it's why it's our base, how we adjust to an unbalanced formation, okay? And today it's called a Utah, right? Unbalanced Utah, and that's all the kids say is Utah. And we have a built-in what we call A.F.C. And today I'm going to just focus on the two personnel groupings we typically see the most in your average down and distance situation, and that's 11, one back, one tight end, and 21, two backs, one tight end. Okay? So when they come out and they line right up in it. So what I have on the top on each side is when they come out and line up in the unbalanced. And then I'm going to show you how if they tight end trade to the unbalanced, how we make the adjustment to get to the same Utah A.F.C. Okay? So check Utah. A.F.C. When I go over the key terms, I'll explain that in more detail. But versus, again, 11 and 21 personnel, right? Rover and Mike go to the three-man surface, and I'll bring in whether it's tackle over or end over, right? Two different ways it can be done. The backer then goes to the two-man surface, which is the nub. Again, one of the key terms, I'll cover that. Dime goes to the lizard rip, and the D-line and DB, so 7 of the defenders follow their normal base rules. So see, we're not trying to overteach or overcoach things here and confuse the kids. We're trying to do the exact opposite, right? We do the thinking so our kids can play, okay? So they don't have to think. So the key terms. A.F.C. Auto front and cover. Auto front and cover. All right, so in every single game we play, whether it's 10, 11, whatever the number ends up being, we have AFCs, and those remain consistent. Now we can tag or add perhaps a pressure or a line stunt to the AFC in any given week, or make that adjustment at halftime or during the course of a game. But lining up the AFC is how it will be done throughout. And again, I don't personally care if the offense knows that. I got to make sure my kids know it inside and out, because you don't see unbalanced. In fact, I haven't seen unbalanced since 2016, as an example. Okay, it's been a while. So it doesn't matter if your opponent knows how it's going to be. Your kids got to know, in case the one time in a game that the opponent gives you unbalanced, your kids know what to do. And then obviously, if you've seen a ton of it on film, well, then you can, again, add or tag stunts and pressures onto the AFC. But I would still strongly suggest keep it the same, or you might start to develop a little questions in your players' heads. Well, how come we're not just doing the AFC? You follow what I mean? So those are things to consider. We're going to talk about lasso, which is a version of rope, linebackers only, inside and out. So when we get to how they tight end trade to unbalance, you're going to see the lasso. We're going to introduce the term dead, which applies only in an unbalanced situation. That means you got somebody who formationally, and even whether they have an eligible number or not, you better make sure that everybody knows that particular offensive person is not eligible. So we just say dead in the number, and that'll be brought into the presentation. Over is the unbalanced side. Nub is the short side. Okay? So those are terms. Don't ever assume your players know what they mean. Again, like everything, okay? But these are the key terms that are part of defending an unbalanced formation. All right? Here we go. So first of all 4 diagrams are in the middle of the field. We're just keeping it simplistic because of the, I don't want the presentation to get in to being way too long and bringing in all kinds of factors, and board space is limited. All right. And by that, also, I'm a one man operation here. So, all right, up top, we have what I call 21-eye twin over. Okay, and this is where they're going to come out and line right up in the unbalanced. All right, so it's 21-eye twin bringing somebody over. Okay, remember, over is the unbalanced side. So again, keeping it simple, I don't want to have so many names for different formation variations that just forget it. You got no chance of remembering it. So all we do is tag over to the existing, what the foundation of the formation is. It's I twin. Now it's over, making it unbalanced. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So see, now here it is, right? 3-man surface. Go over Mike. Go to it. Here's your nub side. Backer goes to it. Okay, this would be the lizard rip. So the dime, field, and free go to it. Boundary and whip go away. See? Left, right, left, defensive line. That's how easy it is to line up. You don't want to make it difficult. Okay, and now you can play football. And now you kids are so comfortable lining up. All you got to do is say Utah. Now you can do things like this as an example. Okay, first of all, that whole dead concept, right? If this is an eligible number, they're live. Right? They're live. I didn't put it up here in key terms, but the opposite of dead is live. So if this were, as an example, 85, then the boundary and the whip for sure are screaming, 85's live, 85's live. They realize he can go out for a pass. Okay? So live, and I'll add it down here. We'll just say live is opposite. So that applies typically to the nub side. All right, it's not going to apply to the over side, but it can apply to the nub side. So this would be a tackle over, right? I mentioned it at the beginning, tackle over, end over. This helps identify, brings in the dead and live call. Well, even though he's not an eligible number, let's say he's number 70, 70 dead, 70 dead. Just alert everybody, especially the safeties. This isn't a 3-by-1, it's twins. Okay, because, oh, by the way, Utah, we are playing gray 4. Our base match quarters coverage. We're in our base front, base coverage. Boom done. It's just the little tweaks to get people lined up correctly to the over side and making sure we're identifying and handling the nub side. Okay, that's it. Don't want to make more out of it than it is. So tackle over. If it were end over, now you're going to get multiple dead calls, right? Let's say he's number 65. 65 dead. 85 dead. Right? So the rover knows, get hands on, but now this guy's not going to go out for a pass. So you hear a pass call, rush, go. We do not need you. There is no check steal, any of that stuff. It is not 3-by-1. Okay? So that's pretty important. Now, what I mentioned not too long ago, the big key, if you've seen a lot of unbalanced on films for your upcoming opponent, so you're going to go, all right, when we see, as an example, 21-eye twin over, so you can just introduce that. It's not a new concept. The kids go, yep. You could say this week we're going to, check Utah equals Cowboy. So over here, you're going to get a lucky. There's no pass threats over there, so why waste the guy in space, right? dead, 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 65, dead, dead. I mean, that's a simple adjustment to add in the game. If all of a sudden you're getting a lot of the 21-eye twin over. Okay, guys, nub side, we're going to go cowboy. Listen up, Lucky, execute cowboy, right? Boom, done. So that's what I mean when I say that how easy it is to make the adjustments and put tags in. If you have a simple adjustment from day one in A.F.C. that keeps your kids in your base front, your base coverage, and the little tweaks take care of the overside and upside. So your kids aren't, oh my, they're worrying about, am I moving a man over? I mean, all the different things that I've heard and seen happen over the years, you don't even think about. Okay? All righty. So down here, how do we handle it if they tight end trade? So let's give you the same 21-eye twin. Now it's going to be tight end trade, right? So here's all your base alignments. You're already in the check cloud because it's single width, right? Detached, checked orbit, rep, boom, done. Now all of a sudden, we get a trade. Whoop, trade, trade, trade. Right? We know what that means. That's where this comes in. Lasso. Okay? Outside, inside linebackers only, nobody else. So then it ends up with the backer, the Mike, and the rover. The backer replaces where the rover would be. Rover switches with a bat. That's it. Mike's to the three-man surface, right? Everything looks the same. That is all that has to be done. And then you're going to go through, assuming this is the legit tight end, and whatever number, 60 dead, 60 dead, 85 dead, 85 dead, just alerting who is ineligible. And you got to teach your kids that very hard all preseason. Make it part of your install. And then once it's in, you got to build it into every practice in terms of your scripts, in your meetings, in your walkthroughs. So then what I'm hoping you're going to notice right away is when it's on 11 unbalanced, you're going to notice there isn't any difference here. Notice this alignment rules, and when they come out, and it's the same for both personnel groupings, right? 11 and 21. Okay, so here they are. It's in what we just remember. Tag it over. This is 11 Dallas over. 11 Dallas over. But because it's 11, you now have a number one outside. So this important to understand. This is still a nub. Still a two-man surface. He is off the ball, making him motion. So you still have two guys motion eligible. You have to. The rules of football. He's on the line, right? So even if he were on and he were off to get your, well, then it would be Texas. It wouldn't be unbalanced. You see what I mean? So this guy's going to be off the line and make it unbalanced. So don't be surprised if he were to go in motion. Okay? But look, Rover and Mike to the three-man, backer away, to the lizard rip, to the lizard rip, away from the lizard rip, left and right, boom, done. It's so, just keep the rules consistent. Rover and Mike go to the tight end anyway. Backer goes away. Woo! Okay? So again, I'm hoping you see how easy it is to get to this, including what happens when they come out in just an 11 Dallas and then trade the tight end to get to Dallas over, right? So here we go again. And to make it unbalanced, he stays off the line. Otherwise, he would have to switch, and then it's just a Texas. It's no longer unbalanced anymore. Okay? So this is really, really important to understand the difference there. So now that we got the tight end trade, and hopefully this screaming trade, now it's lasso again, just as it was lasso over here. And there it is. Boom, done. Again, whatever number, pick a 70, dead, 70, dead. Say tight end's number 90. 90 dead. 90 dead. So everybody understands these guys are ineligible receivers. It's not like the NFL where they're going to announce 70 is eligible or 65 is ineligible. They don't make those announcements. You got to teach your kids the announcements. All right. And your guy in the box better be screaming it down to everybody with a headset on, who they in turn are echoing that to the players on the field, who hopefully, if everything's gone accordingly in practice and training since camp, they've already started making those calls. Okay? Yes? All right, because the last thing I want to talk about is there can be times, remember, it's end over or tackle over, that in place of the tight end trade, the tackle might get up and go over, making it the tackle over. So then this would be the live call, the tight end. Same here. Has not happened hardly ever, meaning the tackle traded. There's been lots of tackle overs and end overs coming out and just lining up in it, yeah. But the tackle trade, that's never happened. But if it did, don't freak out. Say 70. 70's dead here. Keep him number 90. 90's live. Live 90. 90's live, right? Because he's off the ball. They both live. So you're back to it's 2 by 2. Okay, so for us, to keep it in line with your base front, so the front, that whatever that is for us, right, it's what we call 50, our base 3-4, our base match quarters coverage, gray 4. We want to be in that against a unique formation, which Unbalanced is. So Utah gets us in that by following the base alignment rules with a simple tweak to make sure we have the overside, the unbalanced side, as well as the nub side, the short side, both lined up and accounted for and run supports properly. Each gap is accounted for, as well as making sure we identify, is that person live or dead by number. All right. So as I said at the beginning, if you've subscribed already, I thank you. If you haven't, I hope you do. To everyone, any questions, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com, because I would love to talk football with you.